because in the theme of this series about our whole life, today we're talking about what it is to discover the inner treasure. There's a true story. November 16, 1992. Eric Laws received a phone call from his friend who was a farmer. He had a field in Coxon Village, Suffolk, England. Eric's friend had lost his hammer in his big field. Now, in 1992, it's modern days, you're using a lot of farmery, machinery, and equipment, and a hammer in the field is a very dangerous thing for a machine to pick up and possibly be thrown out. Could be quite dangerous. And so he called his friend, who he knew had received a metal detector for his birthday. And he said, "I need you to come over and find my hammer." And so Eric Laws begins walking that field with that metal detector. And after walking for quite some time, he gets a really strong magnetic pull. And he said, "That must be it." And he goes over and he looks around, but there's no hammer. But boy, the machine is really going off now. And so he begins to dig. And as he begins to remove some of the earth and dig, he finds a spoon. Wow, it looks like a silver spoon. And he found another spoon and some coins. And he began to uncover some pieces of gold. He then stopped because, as is required by British law, if you make a discovery of buried treasure, you must notify the authorities and notify the National Archaeological Society. And so they came out, and as it turns out, he had stumbled across what is the largest discovery ever found in Britain. They found some 60 pounds of gold and silver, including over 15,000 Roman coins, silver spoons, some 200 gold objects. They believe that when the Roman Empire was being threatened, that they buried those things, and the wooden chests disintegrated in the earth, and the metal locks remained, along with all of that. Now, the good news is the hammer was also found, and it too is on display in the British Museum. The other good news is there's a finder's fee. And so Eric and his friend were able to split the almost $3 million that they were paid for that finder's fee. Now, I tell you that today because it's exciting. I'd love to find something like that. And the truth of the matter is that you don't need to be an amateur metal detector user. You don't need to be a gold digger or a pirate or even an archaeologist to be one who is in the process of discovering what is often called a buried treasure. It's the analogy that's used. That in the experience of our life, that this life is first and foremost about a process of self-discovery. And what that self-discovery is really about is the self. That which we know ourselves to be, this clay vessel, is so much more than we know ourselves to be if you just take the surface appearance at a glance.